Welcome to Module 5, Section 12 of your California Contractor License Exam Prep course. In this section, we'll cover interior painting and staining techniques, including surface preparation, application methods, and finishing tips, all of which are well within the scope of a B2 residential remodeling contractor. We'll also examine CALGreen requirements related to low-emission materials, which apply to nearly every remodeling project in California. Whether you're refreshing the look of a single room or completing the finishing touches on a full home remodel, your knowledge of safe, efficient, and code-compliant painting and finishing will help ensure excellent results and satisfied clients. Painting is often the final step of a remodel, but it's one of the most important. A clean, well-executed paint job ties together the various elements of a project and leaves a strong visual impression. For that reason, the prep work and material choices you make matter just as much as your brushwork. As a B2 contractor, you're authorized to perform both painting and staining on interior surfaces as long as you're not engaging in specialty hazardous work, like lead abatement, which requires additional certification. Before painting begins, surface preparation is critical. Walls and ceilings must be dry, clean, and free of dust, grease, and flaking paint. If you're painting over drywall repairs or new installations, you'll need to ensure all mud seams are sanded smooth and dust-free. A primer coat should be applied to all bare drywall to seal the surface and create uniform absorbency, which helps prevent flashing and uneven finishes. For repaints, spot priming stained or patched areas is acceptable, but full primer coverage will generally yield better results. Always use drop cloths to protect flooring, fixtures, and furniture, and apply painter's tape along edges where clean lines are needed. Use caulk to seal any cracks between trim and walls. Skipping this step can leave visible gaps even after painting and gives the impression of careless work. In bathrooms or kitchens, use mold-resistant caulk to reduce the risk of mildew. These steps take time but are essential to a high-quality job. When it comes to selecting materials, low VC, volatile organic compound, or zero VC paints are required by California's green building standards. These products reduce indoor air pollution and are now widely available in both premium and budget lines. Whether you're using latex, acrylic, or hybrid formulas, make sure the paint you select complies with CALGreen standards, which limit VC content in coatings and sealants. Paint containers will display VC levels, and many manufacturers offer documentation to verify compliance if required during inspection. Application method depends on the surface and desired finish. For walls and ceilings, a roller is usually the most efficient tool, while brushes are best for cutting in around edges and detail work. Sprayers can be used in new construction or vacant properties, but require extensive masking and ventilation. For trim, doors, and cabinets, a high-density foam roller or angled brush will produce smoother results. Always follow the manufacturer's drying time guidelines between coats and avoid overbrushing or rolling after the paint has begun to dry, as this can lead to streaks and uneven sheen. For staining, the process is different. Stain is absorbed into the material rather than coating the surface, so sanding and conditioning the substrate is even more critical. Wood must be sanded evenly to avoid blotches, and a pre-stain wood conditioner may be required for softwoods like pine. After applying the stain with a cloth or brush, it's wiped clean before drying. A top coat such as polyurethane, shellac, or lacquer is typically added afterward for protection. This sealing layer must also meet VC requirements under CALGreen. Staining is commonly used for baseboards, window trim, stair treads, and cabinetry. While painting can cover imperfections, staining highlights the natural grain and texture of the material, so substrate quality must be high. As with painting, masking and ventilation are essential, especially when working in tight spaces or around other trades. You should also confirm that any finish being used is approved for interior application. Many clear coats are designed for cabinetry or furniture and not intended for wall use. A growing number of clients are requesting environmentally responsible finishes. CALGreen, California's Green Building Standards Code, includes mandatory requirements for residential remodels that impact paint and finish selection. Under CALGreen, you must use low-polluting interior paints and coatings that meet specific VOC limits. This applies whether or not the project requires a building permit. The goal is to protect indoor air quality and reduce environmental harm from remodeling products. For B2 contractors, this means selecting paints, stains, caulks, adhesives, and sealants that comply with the VOC limits established by the California Air Resources Board, CRB, and referenced in the code. To verify compliance, always retain product labels and technical data sheets, which will list VC levels in grams per liter, G/L. The maximum allowable VC levels vary by product category. Interior flat paints are limited to 50 G/L, for example, while stains may have a higher allowable range. Some jurisdictions or third-party programs may require additional documentation or field verification, so be prepared to show proof of product selection and usage if requested by an inspector or HERS rater. Another aspect of CALGreen compliance is proper disposal of leftover materials. You should never pour paint or stain into drains or onto the ground. Unused material should be stored safely or disposed of at an authorized recycling or hazardous waste facility. Many counties offer free drop-off locations for contractors, and using these services not only keeps you compliant, but also reflects well on your professionalism and environmental awareness. Client communication is important when it comes to finishes. Explain why you're using low VOC products and how it benefits them, fewer odors, safer indoor air, and environmentally conscious practices. This can be a selling point for health-conscious clients or those with children or respiratory sensitivities. You should also prepare clients for drying times, off-gassing periods, and when it's safe to re-enter freshly painted areas. As always, be mindful of your scope. While you can apply coatings and finishes to walls, ceilings, doors, trim, and cabinets, you cannot remove or remediate lead-based paint unless you hold the appropriate certification under EPA's Renovation, Repair, and Painting (RRP) rule. If you're working in a home built before 1978 and suspect the presence of lead, stop work and refer the client to a certified lead abatement professional. Performing this work without certification can lead to severe fines and liability. In summary, interior painting and staining are important finishing skills for B2 contractors that influence both appearance and air quality. You are responsible for selecting low-emission products, applying them according to industry standards, and complying with CALGreen's VC limits and environmental safety requirements. Mastering these tasks will not only help you pass your CCALB exam, it will also elevate the quality and credibility of your remodeling projects.